Yeah, it's a I don't want to say famous story, but somewhat famous. I've when I came to America in 2004, I worked with my dad doing home remodeling. It didn't work out, so we've separated, and I was living in North Brunswick, New Jersey, small town in the central New Jersey. Didn't know anybody, so I went to one of the customers that we had, this Jewish lady. I hope she seeing it somewhere, and her name was Ruti. And I asked her, I said, "What should I do?" Because I saw she was very wise, and I thought she might knew somebody. And basically, she said, "You have two routes. Route one, you go to the Russian food store. I'm from Ukraine originally, but we've been labeled as Russians. And you be a loader. You can get paid $12 an hour. You have a lot of hours, but there's really no growth for you. Or you can go do a HVAC." She's like, "I know a guy named Igor. He's hiring." And that was, "What's HVAC?" And and that's the story. So I chose to be a HVAC helper for $8 an hour. I was hired because I had a car, or I was getting a car, actually. I didn't have a car. I sold him on me getting a car, and he asked me to drive a senior technician that had multiple DUIs and couldn't drive himself. So I was basically a chauffeur for the
Okay.
guy with multiple DUIs, and that's what gave me the start in the industry. But I've been prepping for this. I've been entrepreneur since really childhood, and even in school, I was starting small businesses. Selling candies. I was competing with the lunch lady. Actually, the lunch lady had to go and complain to the principal because I was selling candies, and I was shut down by the principal, of course, because it was somewhat illegal. But I felt that I was entrepreneur since childhood, and now I realize it didn't really matter what the industry I just got, because for those who come to America, it's a survival game. You have to survive, and it didn't matter to me what it was. I needed a job. I need to pay my bills, and then from there, my entrepreneurship heart is took over, and I was able to do what I did today.
Yeah, so you learn the trade, working for another business, and then what really when did you feel that you were comfortable enough to break away and start your own thing?
Actually, I had a stint at Wawa, also part of my biography and stories, and I realized that I was treated as a number, and no matter how hard I worked, it didn't matter. I was working on the third shift for 7.75, so minimum wage was still 7.25, and they were only paying 50 cents more for the third shift, and didn't matter how hard I work, it didn't matter. So I told myself, if I'll ever have the company, it will matter how hard people working, and they should be recognized when they're working hard. And then also working for a company called Thermal Design, and I asked the gentleman, okay, like, I see this guy like looks like a senior tech, how much is he making? And they told me he's making 15. And I was like, so how long has he been working here? 5 years. And I said, so I need to wait for 5 years to be making $15 an hour? They said yes. And pretty much right there I said, I quit, and I went back to be a subcontractor for that company. And this is how it's really started. Is also, I was just curious, what should I do as a person to earn like X amount? Okay, I should do this. And then when I get to that level, I would think, okay, what should I do now to earn this amount of money in a day? And the curiosity drove me to become a business owner, pretty much.
Okay.